up 1-1, and our panelists, our pro players, are actually going to be backing the underdogs here, Mineski. Blitz, after watching that draft, you feeling the complexity love here from Mineski?
All right, let's get this out of the way. They want Mineski to win because it makes their tournament run look a lot better.
We lost to the winners of StarLadder, who beat Liquid.
Who knows what could have happened if we played Liquid?
You know, here I thought it was just good analysis, Will, but I could see the ulterior motive. Thank you for pointing that out to us.
But this is a very good anti-mage game.
Yes.
The only natural counters are the nets and the Rubik lift, but even that is going to cause some difficulties. As soon as he gets something like a BKB, he's going to run through Liquid's lineup.
So they say that best of fives, these final games, they develop their own meta, and it seems like our meta has taken a hard right turn with these unique pickups in Nagasaran and Magnus, neither of which we have seen yet in this tournament, or much of all in this patch post-TI. If we have any action, we'll call it, but Will, can you explain the idea behind both of these heroes? Let's start with the Nagasaran since we're following her on camera.
So I was pretty certain that the Naga was going to be a support as soon as that anti-mage pick came up, just because Naga as a core nowadays is just so underwhelming. These Radiant Space carries, and hold that thought as the arrow connects.
Arrow. Ice. He's going to have to charge out of here, but against the cliff. Oh, mind control, you leveled up arrow. And don't you look like the fool now, sir. No first blood for you. A Sunstrike. No, misses. Nice
baited.
All according to the plan of Ice.
Dude, I am not doubting that man. I think that was the plan all along.
He looked a little slow, like he actually ran back into them.
Yes, he wanted to make sure he had the angle. He was just setting it up.
Daryl playing chess, man.
So we all said Mineski, right? We all went with Mineski.
Yep, Mineski all the way, baby. Jabs making a roll in on Miracle, just doing some harassment and establishing what is already going to be a rough lane. Am I wrong in this? The Invoker versus the Venomancer?
I think the Invoker is going to struggle. Of course, this Nagasaran is coming over to try to make something happen, but unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit rough for him.
Yeah, there's not much Jabs can do to match up against the Nagasaran. And is this the...
an arrow.
The arrow from the cliff.
High ground.
From the cliff, mind control. Not going to get him the kill. But is this part of the reason that he can stand up to the 4 versus 4 battle?
He can. And the cool thing about this Venomancer pick, by the way, is it's going to delay the game and make things really annoying. Because with this anti-mage, you're just putting Team Liquid on a timer. And I think that's really what both teams want to do in every series. If you notice, you just want to put the enemy team on a timer. You want to make sure that you have the better late game / mid game. And right now, I really like Mineski's lineup, but of course, Liquid, they've got a very famous Invoker player on their hands.
So you actually give Mineski the late game advantage here?
I think so. I have to imagine that this anti-mage is... It's not the freest AM game I've ever seen, but it's pretty amazing.
And it's not just an AM carry, but an AM super powered by a Magnus and a Veno sort of semi-carry.
Yeah, this is a pretty well-known strategy just because if anti-mage doesn't have that battle fear, you can still level up that empower for him as mind control. Gonna get jumped on.
Loses most of his mana in the process. Does not have leap, so Ninja Boogie is free to get some extra harassment. Actually does manage to get the glimpse back here. No Thunderstrike whatsoever, and that is what gets them the kill. The double hold, double disable, gets Mushi first blood.
Yeah, and they even wait for him so that he can't get the last hit as Kuro chasing this Veno around.
How is Moon getting chased away by Kuro up to the top lane? Riptide it up, now slowed down. Whoa, a kick in. What is that, GH? Yeah, they managed to get him roll in from Jabs. They're going to go for it. Sunstrike doesn't actually land. They need one more hit. Moon, the balls. He turns around and gets the right click on the Nagasaran to finish him off before he is dealt the lethal blow.
Yeah, and getting the last hit there, pretty imperative, but at the same time, he's given up on this mid lane for a little bit. So Kuro still accomplishing his job, but still kills are kills. And Ice having an all right time at top. Of course, Lifestealer versus Magnus. Very decent matchup for the Lifestealer, as he can't really get harassed out. And you're not afraid of dying from the Magnus either. Ice has done some crazy stuff, as we saw like 2 minutes ago, but I don't think he's pulling this matchup off.
He's got to try and make the best of it, though, with the Soul Ring that he can pick up from the side shop and just spam out shockwaves over and over again.
He's still done a very good job in this lane overall. It's just he can't really make kills happen.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really have to, because he is not the win condition for his team.
Now, is that the sole reason of the Magnus pickup? We said that was the other hero we wanted to talk about that's unique here. It's just about getting the Invis picked up on the bottom lane from GH. He's going to set up a kill onto the Venomancer. Hey, kick backwards by Jabs gives Moon an opportunity to live it back.
Enough?
He's going to be able to Fairy Fire and live. As long as they don't get Sunstruck. Healing cell.
No, he's good.
Moon's definitely good, and they're away.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Very well done. It's really the support play that set the tempo in every single one of these games. Earth Spirit doing quite a bit there. And Anti-Mage continues to just farm up. And yes, that is why I believe they picked this Magnus, because they realize we don't need an offlaner that necessarily has to do a lot, because we've got this Venomancer who can hold this static lane. This Earth Spirit is accomplishing way more than it should early on.
The trio roaming around. Mind Control's giving up on bottom because they want to be able to set up the arrow, but it misses. They don't get the telekinesis follow-up off of the net, and Kuro is going to be the one who suffers here.
Bad news for Liquid. Jabs finding angle behind. Wants to try to slow people down.
Oh, he might just die to the right clicks here. Has to back up to his teammates. Mind Control is pretty low, but the kinetic field's going to block GH in. Excellently placed. They have the glimpse. Ninja Boogie doesn't have the mana, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Mind Control going to leap out, but still net win for Mineski as they committed 3 heroes just to try to kill that lane. In fact, technically there was 4 with the Invoker there. And instead they lose a hero for that. A little bit slow, setting that up with that lift. That arrow whiffs, and it's going to cost them.
A 1k gold lead for Mineski, and it seems like all of our lanes, like Venomancer may be suffering in the mid lane when it comes to CS, but he is 2-0. So he hasn't died yet from all that harassment, and he's also picked up a couple last hit and kills. And as you said, the Magnus just has to survive and get some CS off of top lane. Not going to be getting any kills, but as long as he doesn't die, mission accomplished.
Yeah. Still doing just fine, as you're right. They're making so much of their rotations happen around this Invoker because they realize this Invoker has to have a really good game. It's truly just an Invoker versus Anti-Mage sort of game, but at the same time, it's opening up this Magnus's farm as he's going to get dove on
the net. They have the telekinesis as well. Sunstrike being planted out, but GH didn't actually throw the telekinesis in, so the Sunstrike misses. But at mid lane, they're still going to make the dive on a Miracle, and they'll get the kill too. Take out from Poison. He kills himself. Oh. Nice play with the Forward Spirit.
Hot diggity.
Miracle with the presence of mind as Mineski backs away from what should have been a guaranteed kill. Gets the suicide instead.
Still, a kill is a kill. In a game like this, you are slowing down what the panel called the true carry of Team Liquid in a game like this. It's this Invoker. And right now, everything going Mineski's way. This Anti-Mage should have just absolutely uncontested farm.
Now, all this roaming into mid lane from Liquid is trying to alleviate some pressure on Miracle, help him out in lane, but the other way they're supposed to be able to help him out is getting successful pickoffs where they get the Sunstrike kill, and we actually have not seen any of those yet.
That's one of the things that they're best at in general. They're so good at finding kills around the map and creating space through that Sunstrike. That's what really good Exort Invoker teams do, but this game, they've just been a little bit off the mark. Mineski definitely respecting the power of that Sunstrike. They've been doing evasive maneuvers, like they zigzag, they know.
Yeah.
They have seen enough of these games. They don't want to get highlight clipped.
When it comes to your focus, mid lane, they're actually just going to go straight up on Moon now. Jabs is here to be able to make sure Moon does manage to get himself away from that nasty little engagement.
And this is like the 4th time in a row that they've tried to kill him. The Venomancer, this time it's Miracle by himself, but Earth Spirit just going to sit behind him.
So if you're Liquid, how do your supports focus their time? Is it like 50% trying to gank mid and 50% trying to set up Sunstrike kills? Do you put more presence in Sunstrike kills? Like, which one is it?
I don't know, because it's really hard for them right now to kill this Anti-Mage lane. The only way they do it is if they get like net into Arrow, into Rubik Lift. So I guess it is possible during this time, but it's probably the only time they get him. Just because once that time fades, Magnus will just level up in power, try to set stuff up. Looks like Miracle.
Roll in on Miracle. Jabs is going to be able to get the follow-up stun, silence, and Moon with the ultimate.
Can you do it again?
You know Miracle's dead. He's going to kill the Force Spirit first, just to make sure that cheeky play isn't available to Miracle.
That's a good presence of mind.
Yeah.
Fool me once.
Ooh, a double damage bottom lane. Pick up for the Mirana. Can they do something with this?
Yeah. You know what would be cool if Ninja Boogie just waited mid, and as soon as Miracle TP's in, that's the ultimate mid-player tilt maneuver.
Oh, you just kill the mid again when he TP's in?
Nah, you just glimpse him back as soon as he TP's.
Oh, yeah. He has to make the walk of shame to the lane. Boy, this Animage is getting big fast. Now, so is the Lifestealer. He's completely free farming as well.
Yeah. You're just less concerned about the Lifestealer, though. There are ways to control him. They have things that go through Rage, like that Magnus, RP, and mid.
Another roll in. Glimpse, maybe? He does get him inside the kinetic field. Stun silence. Here comes Mass. TP's in from Liquid, but it's not going to be fast enough to stop Miracle from going down. He tried to get the Sunstrike kill into Ninja Boogie, unable to do so, and the Fate Bolt isn't enough either. They get a lot of damage onto GH from just right clicks coming out from Moon, and they're going to be able to kill Kuro as well. All that armor on Naga Siren is nothing to the magic damage. He gets a triple kill from Moon.
And it's actually Mineski that realizes the true threat. They're honing in on him, and Liquid, their early attempts that failed, really starting to stack up on them as they haven't been able to help the other lanes. Every lane right now for Mineski is going so well.
They keep on being forced back. It's like the way that we saw Liquid just constantly put pressure on that Art Warden lane. It just gave so much space to their side, and they were putting pressure on the true carry. Now it's Mineski doing the same thing, right? They're actually putting all the pressure on the Invoker, and it's forcing those supports to come mid instead of getting those Sunstrike kills.
And both games, the trend has been whoever wins the laning phase snowballs like crazy. In the first game, of course, easily Mineski's. The second game, Liquid's. The third game so far, though, really, really one-sided towards Mineski in the laning phase.
Oh, and they might. Well, Matamba Man, he does have Infest. He does have...
Oh, they're still trying to go for it.
But they're still going to be able to get the stun silence. Moonlight Shadow is out. Pop the Rage. Turn. Try and kill Ice before you go for it. But the RP, Matamba Man, it took a lot of balls for him to try and go for these kills, and he's still trying for it, and it looks like he will not be able to get it. He ends up going down, and the Sunstrike misses as well.
Way off the mark is Mineski. They know. They've played against enough Invokers to know what's coming as...
So they knew his Infest was on cooldown? We haven't seen the Lifestealer in a while, but...
I'm not sure.
From the top right, it was on cooldown. So they must have just made that read, right? Magnus must have made the call. Guys, come game top. Infest is on cooldown. Jab's being gone on the mid lane, trying to run him down with a cold snap. Now Kuro's going to come in from behind. They will manage to catch Ninja Boogie. A level 4 Disruptor is a small pittance, though, to Liquid, who are currently down 8-2. And may just be down even further as they're going to be able to roll in with jabs, go for GH, and manage to get the kill on Miracle with the help of the Venomancer.
Oh, here comes
Missed
Big
the
Bad
kick.
AM.
He managed to dodge that one, but Mu can't dodge the right clicks from Mushi, who's now here to be able to clean out Kuro's mana and see if they could run him back all the way to the shrine with the slowdown here from Jabs. Doesn't quite get it, but they'll finish him off with the ultimate from Mushi.
And Anti-Mage, completely unnecessary rotation, by the way. They would have killed everyone anyways, but he wanted that free gold.
Got to get that money.
Getting closer and closer to that Battle Fury. Impressively enough, though, Matamba Man, despite all of this happening, still at the top of the net worth chart. But the rest of his team, not so lucky.
But when does Matamba Man start doing something for his team? Like, he's the beneficiary of all of this laning phase. Everybody else on Liquid is not having a good time. So how does he spend this gold? How does he spend his time in order to give Liquid a win?
This game is more complicated because...
Okay, well, there's one way.
They don't have the best vehicle for him this time around.
Yeah.
Like, normally when you have this Lifestealer, he's got this Infest combo that instantly pops out, and you can just burst somebody. You just pop somebody out, use a stun, any sort of pull, something like that, you get a kill. But he doesn't have the same way to start these fights. I guess there's Mirana Leap.
Mirana Leap.
That is so inefficient.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great. GH, with no HP and hardly any mana, is moving forward here to be able to catch Ninja Boogie, and they are going to be able to get a Sunstrike on him, but at least he got the static storm, but an arrow out of nowhere on the right-hand side actually was aimed for the support, but ends up hitting the Venomancer, and they're going to be able to get the kill. He gets the Gale off, though, and that means with the rest of Mineski TPing in, they can go ahead and get the counter kill on a Miracle. They actually went for the RP. Him dead. They needed him dead. I don't think they had any counter vision, which is why they had to throw that RP when he was outside of that tier 1 tower range.
Yeah, and even with this going somewhat okay for Liquid, they do manage to nab their Venomancer. Look what's happening right now. Anti-Mage just continuing to farm, completely unfazed by all this action as Lifestealer gonna find a freebie here.
Caught again. Jazz gives him a defense kick again, but he might have just given up his life for it. The ensnare He attempts at a glimpse save, not going to happen here. And Matumba Man is apparently just going to run for more. Arrow out. Ninja Boogie's not that fast, but maybe a Sunstrike. Is Matumba Man corralling him into it? Nope.
Even tries to get the Infest last hit, but I mean, some of these arrows have been pretty fortunate. Like you said, that arrow not even aimed at the Venomancer, but he catches it full in the face. If he doesn't get hit by that arrow, Liquid probably walk away with not much more. And during all this time, Mushi continue to farm. We saw Complexity place such a premium on banning this in the second phase. Starting to see why.
Mushi he read. He's like, oh, this is Team Liquid's time. They're going to start using the Lifestealer. They're going to invade my jungle. I'm going to the other side of the map. If they want to come chase me, they're going to have to bring a bunch of heroes away from my allies up to top lane. And even then, it's going to be tough for them to knock down that Anti-Mage.
Yeah, they've done a really, really good job so far in the early game of securing farm across the map from him. And it's just similar to what happened in Liquid's game. We're starting to see this trend develop. If you can force fights around the map, away from your one position, continue to give him that space, the game is going to heavily tilt in your favor.
When we say one position, we're referring to that true carry that you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Not necessarily the safe laner. In this case, it is Mineski, but for Liquid, it would obviously be their Invoker, right?
I mean, the numbers just refer to the farm priority more than the roles. That's what we usually associate it with, but for the most part, it was meant to denote who gets the farm, who prioritizes it the most. For this game, it's going to be Invoker, who's going to need a lot. His AoE crowd control, going to be the game saver. But Matumba Man does have a lot of farm. He has been untouched because of this repeated 3-man aggression on the Invoker. And Anti-Mage, he's going to be their target. This would be a huge kill for Liquid.
Moonlight Shadowed into
Jabs
the
is
setup
waiting,
here
though.
for... Oh.
Game senses it?
Was that game sense, or did they maybe spot him
I'm not
just
sure.
before the Moonlight Shadow?
They might have just jumped it like half a second early.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, now you know.
It's just mind control showing, though. And Mineski are kind of thinking, maybe we can go for
No,
this
don't
kill?
do it, dudes.
Don't do it. But they're thinking about it.
And
They're also
meanwhile,
thinking about top lane. Miracle's thinking about pushing forward.
They got their own trap set up.
Yep, they got a successful scan from the Dire. Miracle still comes forward, though, and pops the hand of Midas. They do manage to get the kill on the Ruby, but what an arrow! It nailed him, and Miracle somehow managed to get out of that Static Storm.
Even
going to
throw the Sunstrike.
They got the Sunstrike because he wasn't in the Static Storm to finish off that Anti-Mage. A blunder at top leads to a kill at bottom for Miracle's Invoker.
He is like mind controlling them into these arrows because he is firing them from vision and they're still landing.
Well played.
That is the only way that he was going to get that kill, was with that arrow.
Got him. Miracle completely poisoned up. Go for the Force Spirit deny. He's going to move him away from the Force Spirit and finish him off with a nuke.
Drags him away.
And a send back here. Sure, the Venomancer is certainly dead. Forced all of Liquid up to this top lane, though.
Still not too bad for Liquid at all. They do lose the Invoker, but they managed to get 2 cores for themselves.
They almost have this Blink Dagger for the Magnus. So we're looking at this time where Liquid are beginning to make a bit of a comeback, right? They're getting some of these pretty key pickoffs, like that AM kill. But we're going to have a huge spike in team fight from Mineski. Is it strong enough to beat Liquid?
Maybe. They've got a Deso on the Lifestealer, which is the big item pickup that they needed to be able to chunk these.
Oh, right, as Mushi blinks
Perfect
forward.
timing.
Great timing for Liquid. Couldn't ask for a better freebie kill.
You get a few more of those, and suddenly the game becomes a little bit scarier.
The prize is mine.
Unfortunate blink timing by him.
Yeah. He's farming like some pretty safe camps, but smoke rotation. Well read by Liquid.
They read the respawn.
Where should Mushi be farming in these games?
I think that was okay, but up at top, Ice,
grabs him
mid-lift.
after the skewer. GH waited that one out, but as he be away, is Ice's counter to that attempt. He's going to be able to get away scot-free and complete his Blink Dagger. That attempt at the Sunstrike, I don't know if it actually landed, but it was close.
In mid. Just trying to force things back as jabs. But that was a really good smoke, mainly because they thought, okay, there's no way that he's going into the south side jungle, so maybe if we just pick him up here, leaving the base. It's a really common time to go there right after you respawn, and it's such a big kill because it's just back-to-back deaths. Still, gold lead in favor of
Blink forward
Mineski.
with the Moonlight Shadow. GH runs into him. The Invis, now the counter detection, but Matumbadan already pops up, but countered by the RP. Kuro locks down the Venomancer, and GH is trying to make their way away from this one, but Matumbaman's going to run out of his Rage Timer. It's now going to be silenced up, plus the Static Storm. He needs to be able to get on top of these supports, but he doesn't have an arrow. Comes in, managed to hit the Magnet square on, and Mushi with the extra damage will finish off that Lifestealer. TP out is oh, no, it is successful for the Mirana. So they end up losing 2 in what was supposed to be Liquid finding a pickoff with their smoke.
Yeah, and it looked like it was going to be pretty good for a second, but they just weren't able to output enough damage. Their Invoker, of course, can't really contribute too much without any items. And now Anti-Mage going to make good use of that space, and this is always the scary thing about AM. You kill him back-to-back, but he outfarms anybody on the map.
Was that just like everybody in the game reading the same thing? You made the read, hey, you get a couple more of those kills, you're back in business. Is Liquid thinking that? Re-go for the smoke gank on Anti-Mage. I'm presuming that's what they were trying to find, but Mineski, growing wise to their tricks, just stayed grouped up.
Mineski saw that nobody was going at that top area around their ward, and you always play off the vision in Dota in your wards. If you see nobody there, then by process of elimination, you can kind of hone in on where they can be. Liquid figured, well, we've got Blink on Rubik, that's our new vehicle. Plus, we've got this Lifestealer with Dessa, we can pop anybody in the game, and if anything goes wrong, we can probably just sleep out. But Mineski were just a little bit too fast on that.
Yeah. And by the Blink, we're referring to the stolen Blink. He is getting a Blink dagger as well, but is still another 600 gold away from that one.
Yeah, and so far, Anti-Mage, just a Vlad's, Manta surely going to follow this. And Mushi is one of the few AMs that still always goes back for this Vlad's. I'd like to mention that.
Why do you think that is?
It's good regen. I know he likes to hit Ancients.
I've heard...
He can also fight with it.
Yeah, like one of the reasons sometimes AMs like Linken's over the Aghanim Scepter is the mana regen.
Yeah.
Right, and that's obviously something Vlad's gives you.
You get it from the B Fury though, and you can always just strength try to switch, or in switch. Invoker though, not really a hero until he gets his Aghanim Scepter, and as I say that, there he has it. That's always been the case with Invoker. I remember SECC had this interview where he's like, what's the problem with Invoker? And he's like, Invoker's a curious hero because so much of this hero has empty net worth. He doesn't do anything until you get a prerequisite amount of items. It's not just a Midas. You need a full Aghanim Scepter before you even decide to come into these fights.
Do you think he wants any more levels?
Probably. But the early game with this hero, kind of rough. The late game with this hero gets a lot better though. He's the king of late game.
4-man by Liquid. Up to top lane. Managed to bring down that tier 2, but Mineski almost run into Miracle, but it's going to Miracle who finds them first. They're going to get the combination on both of them. TP out, not going to be able to make it out for the Magnus. Looks like Ice is going to be caught, and he can manage to get the Tornado on the Disruptor, and Liquid just keep on pushing. Miracle has stopped so much that they might be able to get a lane of racks off of this one. Earth Spirit makes his initiation at the top lane, and that's where we got to go to now as the AM makes his jump in, follow up. He's trying to finish things up, but he's only got one of these kills so far. Here comes the rest of the damage. Locked down by the end there. Mind Control gets it, and all of a sudden, Liquid, just like last game, or was game number 1, I'm sorry.
Despite all that happening, Mineski still has the gold lead, but if they lose this Rex, that's all going to change. The Veno slithering his way forward, but even with Kuro dead,
oh no,
maybe not.
The Rax isn't dead. Mind Control's got to stick around for this one, right? He's going to throw the arrow and finish off the Venomancer. He wants to kill real quickly with a Sunstrike and a GH here as well. They should be able to get it. Mooch just a little bit closer with the Static Storm, and now the slowdown, it's not enough.
Oh, you
now they're both stuck in
Liquid.
the Static Storm. At least they get the melee Rax. Thank goodness they finished that one, or else it would have been a total disaster for Liquid. But they get the big objective. What a windfall for Liquid.
Miracle staying invis, finds 2 heroes trying to TP, catches all 3 of them in that attempt, finishes off the Magnus, sets up for that Disruptor, allows his team to go for that high ground push. Deja vu once again. Mineski, you have a lead, you have this anti-mage, but you need some time still.
Still top 2 net worth, and yet down a melee Rax. What an incredible turnaround.
That is
Liquid.
crazy.
They still...
That was such an early Rax too.
Yeah. I mean, so was that game 1. Wasn't that pretty around
It was
this
later,
time as
and
well?
plus this was a melee Rex. That's the bit larger issue. The other one was a range Rex, so you don't care as much. But this is so weird. Like, I don't know how that happens. And the Veno, I don't think was there for that attempt either. It is actually deja vu. The Veno wasn't there to place the wards.
Yeah.
So then,
Next thing you know.
okay, I guess they just pick up a free Rax. And they do have a Deso Lifestealer. He cuts through buildings quite quickly.
Yeah, he just took a shrine. Boy, this map control is going to start falling apart for Mineski. This is looking so good because the timing shouldn't have been Liquid being able to push a high ground fight for maybe like 5, at least 10 minutes now from now, but instead they've already got it and sped up this game
another arrow.
An arrow right on top of Moon. They're going to try and finish him off here. They will be able to do with the nukes. Now the Static Storm follow up. Jab's going to be gone on here. He's completely stuck next to Matamba Man, so he's done for. Liquid are going to try and pick up that other support, chasing down Ninja Boogie. It's going to take him a little while, but I don't think Ninja Boogie's going to be able to make it on that one, or maybe he will. Nice Static Storm, or Kinetic Field rather, and the TP out on the high ground.
Now they're going to just, it looks like they just want to hit the shrine, but I think Roshan is the better target here. And this is so wild because for some reason Mind Control just keeps getting these arrows off on these cores. I'm not quite sure how he does it, but he's making Mirana look playable from the 3-roll.
Matamba Man, a Lifestealer with an Armlet Desolator, soon to be Assault Cuirass, and has Alacrity on him. Eats through Roshan pretty damn quickly, and all the Aegis in hands now.
And a game that looks so promising for Mineski. You can't relax against this Liquid team. They take everything from you.
Ooh,
They're
the
so
TP up
decisive.
to top lane here. Is this an opportunity for a kill? You've got your lockdown hero. RP
You
is
really
up.
need this
oh,
kill.
and
It whips!
this is it! Miracle! One step ahead of him again.
He's just showing off at this point.
And he's going to try and catch him on the way back. He knows they've already blown it. They don't have anything to lock him down.
He's tracking him.
Yep. He's going to make sure these heroes can't simply TP in front and get away. Ice is going to be hit by the tornado. And the arrow fishes out Mushi, but he already blinks himself away, so it is just going to be our Magnus caught.
Yeah, that would have been unbelievable if he gets that. Has the Empower for his Lifestealer now. Liquid, everything's starting to come together. That early game, you couldn't have scripted that better for Mineski. Nobody was contesting that AM's farm. Magnus was largely untouched. That Veno mid was doing so well for himself, but 1 or 2 mistakes leads to us being in a situation where Mineski's down a Rax early, and it always puts pressure on that top lane. It makes it so that you always have to have a core shoving out that lane, which means Liquid can make plays happen at any moment.
Now Liquid just have to stop these tier 2s at bottom and mid, while Miracle is going to play defense duty. And with that long duration of a tornado, he can easily set up his teammates to TP in if he catches the right heroes.
Yeah, they're going to grab this tower for free. And what he's trying to do is make the exact same play, see if anybody stays, push out the lane back. If anybody did stay, now your team has Rax again. But Mineski, they're going to learn, start preemptively placing these Veno wards.
An attempted aggressive Force Staff into the boulder doesn't work, and Matamba Man is going to have
go
another
high
chance
ground
here.
He is
beat on that
this
tier
tower.
3 Alacrity in the rage, but oh, whoa! Telekinesis actually stopped at the charge back. Matamba Man would have been a terrible spot if he had died all the way back there, but instead he dies right next to the tier 3. Great reaction from GH. Sparing Matamba Man his awkward positioning. Now actually turns on the rage and goes directly into Moon, but he ignores the heroes now, doesn't go for chase because he knows how much damage he does to the buildings. Now jabs at the backline. Mushi, they need to get the lockdown of Miracle. If they can do enough damage to him, they can pop him with the ultimate, but he's not burned enough. So instead, Mushi's going to try and finish off the Nagasar and make sure there's no escape with the sleep, and then clean up whatever heroes is next. Now Miracle gets the tornado just in time. There's no refresh of the ultimate. Oh, it did refresh, so maybe he can still get this kill.
Tick.
Tick, tick, tick. Miracle might just drop while Mind Control bites up against it. Jabs did get that kill on Miracle with the damage over time. A huge pickup. And the escape, no, the turnaround. GH with him and Matamba Man is going to actually get a kill onto the Earth Spirit before they run themselves away.
And bottom Rax.
Did he? He went down, right? That. Oh, it didn't go down. Are you
I don't
serious?
think it went
one
down.
hit away.
It had 1 hit, and they turned
It's
around.
still there. It's regenning.
Oh.
Oh, no.
If they hit that and they kill it, it's worth it.
Yes.
But they turned around just a second too late, or too early, I should say.
They're going back in.
They need to grab this. You can't walk away empty-handed.
He's trying to make it fast. He sees him. Can he get the kinetic field control? Static Storm? Anything? He doesn't have
Nope.
Static Storm. He can't stop him.
Just a TP away now.
Oh no.
Got it a little bit later. If Mineski was able to hold that, really good win for them there.
So still worth it.
Yeah.
All good.
They did manage to kill the Invoker, though. Significant pickup for Mineski. Your anti-mage forced into a position where he has to go for that early BKB. And this is something we normally see much later on. You usually see the item progression goes the Manta style, then the Basher for the lockdown so you can actually kill heroes. Then you grab the BKB when you realize.
Magnus. Mind control. I think he tried to jump him. See how low Ice got, but
Had to use the RP for that, though.
RP TP out.
Yeah, has a BKB now. Completed on that Magnus.
Okay, so we're finally getting to the Manta on the AM, which is really where you turn into a big damage dealer jabs, making sure that Mushi's going to be okay, because he can't get out of these ensnares until he has the Manta.
No, he cannot, and Jabs has always been there with these kicks.
GH. Moonlight Shadow runs right into a core Venomancer. He keeps on delivering kill after kill. We said we didn't have much of a vehicle, but apparently Rubik against an AM turns out to be a perfect vehicle, especially after you get the Blink Dagger as well.
I guess so. He just kind of walks up to people.
Moonlight Shadow as well, yeah.
And it's legit, as he also has Empower. So this is Empowered Lifestealer who can also get Alacrity on him. That's how he chewed through those racks so quickly at bottom. And Mineski, you've got to play decisively here.
But they don't have RP, so they can't really jump.
You have Sleep.
Oh, they managed to get the kick onto him with the Static Storm. What a combination. That's amazing. Mushi might just be able to finish him off, but the BKB is just not enough timing. Finally, it runs out, but no, he couldn't make the blink away.
Oh, there's
now
the
it's going to be
bash.
dead as well. Ice got bashed up. Now it's just cleanup time. Pick up one support. Nice jump in from Jabs. Might be able to get the kill still onto the lifesteal. He does manage to get it, but Liquid still have enough damage to be able to go for these objectives, and they have no buybacks. They call it.
Oh, no.
I thought for sure this was going to be a 2-1 lead for Mineski.
It certainly looked like that with the early game. Couldn't have asked for a better start, but Liquid, you give them an inch, they take a mile. One bad fight. They accidentally TP under the guise of the Invoker. He manages to cancel some. They just take wraps off that.
We made this mistake at game number 1 for Mineski.